Yo, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time it may be. And today is a very good day because the supercharger kit for my Shelby GT350 is finally here. Honestly, I shouldn't even be saying finally because it did come pretty fast. So fast, I do believe this car could have actually made it to Texas 2K if I wanted to take it there, if I ordered this kit literally probably 2 weeks earlier, but it is what it is. Now, I did make some changes with the direction I am gonna be taking this car boost wise. I did ultimately make the decision before I actually sold the 2-valve Mustang because I was very happy with the performance. I'm gonna keep saying it every time I mention that car. I did not sell the car because of the lack of performance. That car was punching well above its weight class. I sold it because it seriously was not the right car. There was too many issues. It got in an accident, hit and run. It wasn't the right car. But because the performance was literally on the money, what the power out it did had, I did want to go ahead and kind of go in that direction with the Shelby GT350. So if you guys are catching my drift, you probably know exactly what we got going on this car in the very near future. So if you guys are excited, feel free, drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and let's get into it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and record this part of the video in the house because obviously I'm not taking this stuff out and putting it on the garage floor. That's stupid. This is brand new, we're not doing that. But as you guys can see here, we do have a Procharger kit for the Shelby GT350. I know I said I was gonna go ESS, I'll explain why. I ultimately did not go ESS. Nothing against ESS, they make a badass kit, but again, I was very happy with the performance of the 2-valve with the D1SC head unit, so we're gonna be doing kind of not really the same build, actually not even close, but this is gonna be hopefully, actually not even hopefully, I know it's gonna be solid, rock solid. But we got the belt right here, standard belt. This is just gonna be, you know, a Gates belt, I believe. Yes, it's a Gates belt. I don't think I'll need the green belt for the pulley that I'm gonna be starting off on because again, I need to get used to the power before, you know, we start going crazy. So we're gonna set that aside. Right here we do have I guess the hosing for the race blow-off valve. Now, you guys are probably wondering, dude, like this box is mad small. Where's the rest of the stuff? The shipment actually got split up. 2 different trucks. So I got the meat and potatoes in this box, and I still have another box coming today. So I will go ahead and throw that in the video depending on when it actually does show up, even if it does show up today. It is a holiday weekend, so I was pretty surprised I even got this today. They said I was gonna ship it today, but I was really thinking, no way, it's Easter. It's Good Friday, it was Friday, it's Easter Sunday. This is not gonna come until probably, you know, Tuesday, but it showed up today, so cool. We got the oil drain line. This is gonna be the self-contained unit, but we have the oil drain line right there. Right here we have, the supercharger oil right here. The oil ring. Definitely do not want to lose any of this stuff. Again, I still have the box with the intercooler, the brackets, as well as what else I have? The blow-off valve. So here we have the Procharger oil right here. I guess more, I guess. Actually, I think I have another Procharger oil bottle as well because I was gonna do another oil change with the not the GT350, the 2-valve. Before I did sell it, I was gonna do it again before Texas 2K. But as you guys can see here, I did go ahead and open this up just to make sure, you know, everything was here and nothing was like, you know, messed up. But we got the head unit. Let me go ahead and get this out and guess what head unit we have on this car, because I can guarantee you, you guys are not gonna guess the head unit I did purchase for this car. But you guys can see the pulley is colossal. Like it's big. This is definitely a 4-inch pulley, which is good. Let me go ahead and then get back in the garage real quick because I don't know if the audio is gonna be that good inside the house. It's kind of echoey. I don't have that much furniture. I live very minimalistic. But I know a lot of you guys are gonna be asking about the supporting mods I'm doing with the Prochargers. Now, I do understand that some folks had issues with the crank snapping with Prochargers, but all the reviews and what I've seen online, I've talked to some people who have Prochargers, that was because of install error and they were not running the proper supporting mods. Now, I am going ahead and doing oil pump gears, crank sprocket, as well as the Procharger support. I'm doing all that. I'm not gonna cheap out on it, obviously. I mean, this is something that you definitely don't wanna cheap out on. After having the 2-valve and the previous owners cheaping out on a lot of stuff and doing a lot of redneck shit to it, I'm definitely not doing that to a car that I've essentially built from the ground up. I mean, this car, the GT350, was stock when I brought it, so I know everything that's been done to the car. We are gonna be doing this right. So again, we have the oil pump gears, the crank sprocket, the crank support, and this is gonna be an 8-rib system as well, so it's gonna be the independent drive, so supercharger belts can be swapped out fast, the Procharger pulleys can be swapped out fast, and if the belt were to snap, doing pulls or something like that, I'm not gonna be stranded, wherever it happens. That's something that I was very, very cautious about and thinking about, because that's something that the ESS kit does not have. Again, it's not a big deal, but I wanted to make sure that if something were to happen, a belt snaps, I was not gonna be stranded. So that's a huge W. And again, we're doing all the supporting mods, and this car is gonna be on E85 from the get-go. I'm not gonna waste any time with 93 pump gas. You're going straight to E85, so it's gonna be making some steam, but again, that's why I decided to go ahead and tell Procharger, hey, I want to get the 9-pound pulley just so I can get used to it, because 9 pounds in E85, it should be like high 700 horsepower, somewhere around there. I hope it does not make 800 wheel. Honestly, I know that sounds very, very weird, but I hope it does not make 800 wheel, because I really want to get used to a 700 horsepower car before I jump into an 800 horsepower car, because again, I've never had a 700 horsepower car before. This is my first S550 Mustang, that I'm actually gonna be driving. I know I just drove my homeboy's car, but again, that was not my car, and I wasn't, going as crazy as I would my own vehicle. So I wanna get used to it, because I definitely don't wanna jump into something that quite literally I have no experience with. And considering the fact that this car is quite literally gonna be making, 500 horsepower when I drop it off, and when I pick it up, it's gonna be making 700. That is a massive, massive difference, especially considering the fact that this car does have the big brakes and the 19-inch wheels, which is gonna make, high speeds a little floaty, and I don't even wanna mess with that at 800 wheels. So this car will have to have a drag pack before I decide to pulley down and make, over 800 horsepower. So that's why, I'm doing what I'm doing. So here we go, guys. This is the Procharger head unit. As you guys can see here, we went with the D1SC head unit for the Shelby GT350. I am going to be rocking a filter on this car. We're not going to be leaving it open or with the turbo guard like I did on the 2-valve. They do make bell mounts, which I actually probably will try out eventually, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and leave the filter on it. As you can also see, we have a really, really big pulley on here. This is like a 4-inch pulley, I believe. It's gonna be 9 pounds on E85. This should be around high 7 wheel horsepower on E85. I wanna get used to it first, and then we can go ahead and pulley it down to around 13 pounds of boost when I'm up for it, which should be about 900-ish wheel horsepower, which is gonna be spicy. It's gonna be really spicy. Don't wanna leave it like this sitting, because I have all the padding, but I don't wanna be resting it anywhere where there's gonna be tension with the belt. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in the box, load it all up. Again, when I do get the other box, I'm gonna be showing you the intercooler, the blow-off valve. Hopefully that's gonna be in this video, but again, it is a holiday weekend, it's Easter weekend. I'm probably not gonna get that till probably Tuesday, but we'll see. Man, the thing is, I would go for like a POV drive right now, but looks like it's gonna rain. Now, the reason I went with a D1SC head unit instead of a P1X, a D1X, or an F1A is because I wanted a head unit that's gonna be working well in the horsepower range that I want the Shelby GT350 in. I want a 700 to 900 horsepower car, and that's where the D1SC is going to shine. Now, the Procharger charts kind of have the superchargers laid out. P1SC1, which is what I had in the 2-valve. the P1X, the D1SC, as well as the D1X, and then we get into, you know, the bigger race blowers. This is going to be a good blower because it's going to have that mid-range punch as well as that top-end punch, and obviously that's where the Shelby GT350s are going to be thriving at. And considering the fact that I really do like centrifugal superchargers over, you know, a Whipple style blower, it's just personal preference, nothing against Whipple cars. I've seen some very, very fast Whipple Shelby GT350s. Maybe, you know, if I decide to get, you know, an S650 Mustang, I'd go Whipple on that setup. But for the GT350, I wanted to go Procharger. I wanted to go a centrifugal supercharger style, and that's exactly why I know I'm gonna be very happy with the D1SC blower, because I was gonna go with a P1X on the 2-valve if I decided to keep that car, because it was gonna be kind of similar to the P1SC. This is gonna be similar to what the D1X blower is, but it's gonna be lighting up a little bit quicker down low, so it's gonna be essentially faster in its respective power band, you know, from essentially 4,500 up to 8,250, a little bit more responsive than the D1X, because I do know some people who have that blower say that it lights up around 5,000 RPM. I want to already be in, you know, peak boost, or at least some form of boost before I do go ahead and hit it from a second gear 60, which is going to be that 5,500 RPM, you know, area. Now, the reason why the 2-valve was so effective at its, you know, horsepower level is because that P1SC was well within, you know, its power band. The car was essentially in full boost. It was already building boost, you know, from a third gear 60 roll, which is around 4,000 RPM. It was already lighting up because that blower lights up around like 3,500. And because of that truck motor torque, it was gone, which is why I personally love that setup, and ultimately is kind of why I went ahead and went with a Procharger for the Shelby GT350, because it's relatively easy to judge what head unit you need for the horsepower you want to be at. So again, I wanted a head unit that's going to be lighting up around 4,500. Obviously, I'm at 5,500 when I am second gear for 60. This is gonna be, you know, gone when I do go ahead and make that hit. So I am super excited to go ahead and get this on the car and put some power down.
One eternity later.
All right, it's 6 hours later, and I do not think the remaining components of the Supercharger kit, as well as the supporting mods, are gonna show up today. But honestly, I'm real happy that the head unit did, so I could make this video. It is a holiday weekend, so I will update you guys if it shows up miraculously like Monday or Tuesday. I don't think it's gonna show up tomorrow because it is Sunday. So if y'all are excited, because I know I am, make sure you drop a like in the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. I went with Procharger because I wanted to make sure that if I was gonna be spending, you know, a large amount of money, the setup was going to work, because honestly, I didn't really want to play what ifs with like $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 worth of components, and honestly, there's still more to be spent. Need wheels, need tires, potentially even more suspension components. So really confident in the D1SC head unit with the stage 2 intercooler, and overall just how the power band is going to be improved. Like I said, if you guys enjoy, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. If you guys have a Procharged GT350, let me know down in the comment section how much horsepower you guys are pushing. And if you guys have done quarter-mile time or 60 to 130s, go ahead and drop that information as well. Catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.